doing continuously, that we will discover resistance and we can work on those resistances. Resistance in many forms. As we work on them, we understand more of dukkha. We understand more of the causes of dukkha. So this method of practicing mudita is based on mindfulness, the satipatthana, and also the Four Noble Truths. This evening, the aspect I'd like to focus on is the appreciation of our colleagues, the people we have worked together, we are working together in many forms. It can be colleagues at work, colleagues in an association, or it can be the people here at this university, Chancellor Buddhist University. So we dedicate this session to them and to working with them. Why this is important? Because we spend quite a lot of time with our colleagues. For people who are employed in companies, in any place, ministries or anywhere, they actually spend more time at work than with their family at home. So what happens at work? The nature of their relationship at work has enormous impact on the way they lead their life, on the way they see the world. That is to say, worldview. So it's very important that we see good things in those people. What we have been working on, the 4 group, this is the 3rd group. The 3rd group. So we can deliberately look for positive things in the people we work with, or we have to work with. During, for example, during a conference here at this university, you have to work with many people. You can bring them as your karuna exercise. Bring them into your mind. Trying to look at the contribution of each one. Usually, if any of them doesn't perform or doesn't meet our expectation, we get irritated easily, we get disappointed easily. When we get disappointed with that person, our view on that person is dominated almost entirely by negative emotion. So we are biased towards negativity. That person needs to have a lot of good things. So it's very important that we relate to our colleagues, the people we have to work with, on long-term basis, short-term basis, and through mudita. People fall out with each other in the world. And that's how they become enemy. If a family breaks up, if a friendship between people breaks up, that can lead to many things. And at work, when people have a negative emotion towards each other, they cannot stop thinking about that person. So they can't stop ruminating, what we say ruminating, just revisiting the old and negative incident. And the more we think about that, the more the amygdala region of our brain gets stronger and bigger. And the stronger the amygdala region of the brain becomes strengthened, the weaker the prefrontal cortex becomes. We have two wolves in our heart, a black wolf and a white wolf. And whenever we think about a person positively, even when we see their fault, then we are likely to be in a position to influence them to do better. Like Nelson Mandela writes in his biography, we lose nothing by looking at positive things in people. Often those people, they act better off what we say. But if we give them negative comments out of frustration, out of irritation, out of despise, out of superiority complex, then those people, they become threatened, they become defensive. They no longer look at what we say positively anymore. So when they no longer look at us positively, there is no way we can help them to become positive, to become better. So in order for us to manage our own stress and to cope with disappointments or negative things in people, because everybody has something negative in themselves. Yeah, I do see a lot of negative things in myself, and I'm trying to improve them. Sometimes, out of frustration, we are blind to anything positive. Automatically, the mind just goes to something negative, something worrying, something anxious. So it's very important to change our brain default from the amygdala, from always fitting black wolf, thinking negative things about ourselves, other people, and the world. It's important that we relate to people through mudita. When our Buddha Gautama was an ascetic and meeting Dibangara Buddha, he became so inspired that he decided to postpone his enlightenment. He looked at Dibangara Buddha and he felt a lot of joy. He looked at the disciple monks and nuns of Dibangara Buddha, and his belief in the ability of many other people apart from the Buddha was also strengthened than his belief in himself. Those beliefs, they come from compassion, the authentic desire to help people, and also the belief in other people's ability. That's exactly what mudita is. The ability of people to change, to improve, to become enlightened. That's the foundation of the Buddhist teaching. We believe so much in people to the extent that we don't really need a creator anymore. So mudita in some way will help us sustain our positive thinking. But spend some time on yourself, on your hard work, on your good work, how you contribute to the society. We all contribute in some way to the society. And look at everyone as a contributor, as a nation builder. If they follow Sila, Samadhi and Panya, the middle way, as much as they can. And of course, you will come across resistance. Your mudita will help diagnose anything negative that is there between you and your colleagues. Now when we talk about your colleagues, we talk about immediate one and also beyond that. The immediate one, if you work for a company, the people in your company, maybe the people in your department, in your unit, they are the people you work with, so they are your immediate colleagues. So try to see something positive about them. And then look at beyond your unit, your department. And then look beyond your company. Your customers are part of this. Look at their contribution. Look at the contribution of other companies. They have the same intention to improve themselves and other people. That is why they are doing, they are working hard and doing such a a very demanding and busy work. It's the same here, we look at our classmates, we look at the residency to look into, to connect with their positivity. And that's not enough. We do need to connect beyond SSBU. Look at other people. And if we can do that, we will see a lot of people as our colleagues, as our fellow, ultimately as our fellow humanity. How people work hard to take care of themselves and take care of the association, the institution they work for. And with that, how they contribute to the wider society. So this is what we will be doing this evening. You can start your meditation now. Mainly spend about half of the time on yourself. We have about 20 minutes. Self-karuna is very important. Change CPRP. Now the time is up. It's time to dedicate our practices to the triple gems and liberation, then share our good deeds with all living beings. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Adipadiya Buddha Bhuje. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Adipadiya Dhamma Imaya Dhamma Nurdhamma Padiya Sangha Imaya Dhamma Nurdhamma Padiya Jadi maranama Tadi mujisami Idame punya Asawakaya Wahang hodu Idame punya Nibbanasa Pacaya hodu Punya bagan Sabasatana Dema Kumacima Kusumitina Miyaminam Haukasadaka Lai Sam Parami ดังสิ่งดังลมหายเช่นดีเช่นสาเช่นสัตว์เช่นคุณเวเนยสัตวาในสัจจวาลาอนันดาสัจจวาลาทั้งสิ้นโหมจุดสาธุอนุโมทนาและหัดกุศลผลนี้เพ่งเบ่งกันสิ้นสิสักกันโดยทานสาธุสาธุสาธุทานามยาศีลามยาภาวนามยาเขาเจ้าคำดังเสียงดังลงอย่าโดหงโดหาหิมอำลายกุลหิมอำลายสัตวาหิมอำลายย้อนผากพังไว้ในมาโคใจเฮาคาเดียวศึกษาอามาตานิพพานะที่ขัดแย้งสักคำเลยตาสาธุสาธุสาสาธุวันดามิพันติสัพพังอาบาราตังข้ามาธามิพันติมายาลังบุญยังสามินะอนุโมทิตาปังสามินะกะดังบุญญามายาทัพพังสาธุสาธุอนุโมทามิวันดาปันติอภิวาทนาสิริสานิจังวุฒาปัจจายโนจัตตารุธรรมาวัฏันติอายุวันโนสุขังภาลาพระมีสั่งใครถามสั่งกันเลยภายใต้ภายมันกันเลยเอาปัญจเขา
Good evening, Sayadaw. When Sayadaw asked us to contemplate on Mudita, on ourselves and people around us, so I started in SSBU. I felt like every day, even like only this week, I started to learn Mudita meditation. But I do not know why. That because it has been a very long time that I have like it is a normal in a daily life that we have this kind of contemplation. get to know Buddhism at my age of 26 in Malaysia. So it is an Islam country. So not everyone knows about Buddhism. So when I heard about that, and like since my ordination, I always think it is difficult to hear about the Buddha Dharma. So now I heard about it, I should appreciate it. And it changed my life a lot. So how I appreciate it? I should be very honest with myself in my practice. If I found that I have defilement, I should talk to my teacher, like my meditation teacher, and then I should overcome the defilement. I should not like cover it and hide myself that I'm a very good person. So if I do not do in that way, then I felt that I'm not observed for people to give offering and do so much thing for you. You do nothing. That's what I think of myself. You don't do so many things for you. For example, one day I saw an uncle. He was carrying the gas, for cooking. And that was so heavy for him. And then I'm thinking, this uncle, his age is similar to my father. And I'm thinking, why these people work so hard and they give offering for you, for your food, for your road. Do you deserve that? What happened to my mind? So, like our devotees, here we have winter, and when the time comes, the devotees, they are really kind. They bring salt, they give this and that, clothes. Then they are like our parents at home, though they are devotees, they take good care of us. And when I receive this thing every day, and then I'm thinking, what can I do for these people? I'm a nun, so I should practice law and be honest in my practice. So, and I believe strongly that the Dharma that the Buddha taught us can solve our life problem. So that medicine, when I have difficulty in my life, in my non-life, for example, so I should take the teaching and how can overcome my suffering and my problem. If the Dharma doesn't work, cannot help to reduce or solve my life problem, and then I do not see why I become a man. And I strongly believe that the Dharma could help, could work in that way. And only when I apply that Dharma to solve my problem and have experience on that, how I could solve my problem, then only I can teach the devotees, the friends around, how to solve their problem when they have. If I just learn from the books, then I think I tell them again the same thing from the book. It might not work, not efficient. So, to think about Mudita, about people around, there are so many, it's countless. So, sometimes, like morning when I wake up, then if I want to be lazy in one day, it's difficult because people do so much thing for you every day. How could you stop in your work, in your practice? Thank you.
Ok. Biển vẫn yên này, sẽ khử gì cả. Thì khảo hòa sang.
Sen bị khảo
เข้าห้องน้
เข้าห้องน้ำจากสนายก็ได้หาโน้ตบุ๊กเสริมตัวที่ไว้ยาวจากสนาย
ำห้องถ้วยเล็ก
trong này không quy định có xong co tuổi quay hình giao thì là không quy định này có xong co tuổi đàn vụ thị thị tăngเพราะว่าข้าวส้มซ่อมในก็แรงแต่กาเขามาก็ในอายุสังคมเป็นกันปอในห้องยาวในเขาก็จะก็เข้ามาให้กันฉะนั้นจุดต้องเสียสังคมภายในเมื่อสังคมเก่งใจว่าที่ได้เอาสารกับแก้กันเขาบางที่ซื้อในอันนั้นมันเป็นมุทิตาของแห้งมาฉะนั้นนะครับแต่เรื่องสุดท้ายก็ได้รู้ว่าก็ยังเขาสั่งสอนศาสนาพุทธพระเป็นเจ้าสั่งสอนให้คนมาพบคนนี้มันจะมีเนี่ยหาในมาตามเรื่องตรงนี้ก็
ถามภาษาอังกฤษเพื่อมีข้อถาม
Any small question?
and comment
Any comment?
Yes. I'm trying to celebrate here. The night when they just now, I start to remember the first week when we reached here after registration. The first week when we reached here, and then because of the first night, I do not know about the window and the up not closed. So at the night time when I sleep, the window is not closed. So I have skin sensitive all the time. So I think maybe there are some insect flying at the night when I sleep. So I got allergy. Then it started to spread the whole body. And then after a few days, Pia came. Then the second week, it started to spread the whole body and my back, and I couldn't put medicine at the back. So I talked to Pia. I said I have skin allergy. And then she said, maybe I have, the Chinese one kind of like tea flower. And then she had that. She said, that maybe work. So we tried. I said, but I can't reach my back. Then she said, let me see. So she helped me to clean that flower to stop the poison. She helped me to clean. Then that's better, not so itchy because it's spread the whole body. I didn't take the penicillin, the medicine to suppress my immune system, so it won't spread. Because medicine is not good for the kidney, so I try not to take that. Every time when I have serious allergy, I have to take the medicine only it will stop spreading again a lot. So I remember that Sayadaw here, welcome. Thank you.
thank you
So, yes, we have a question and also comments, and when we practice this kind of meditation, side by side we see that on the other hand also we see the gratitude, and on the other hand also we feel that sympathy. But in my opinion, this is also we should have I think what we could we say a comprehension or mindfulness or what is it? Because now what we practice in the fourth stage, first is ourselves, and then our kids and kin, and then common people and opposite ones. So I also have my waking memory to contemplate this kind of joyfulness on the common people. So sometimes I lose it. So yes.
if you have a problem with the third group, remember to always come back to yourself. number one is like home. Number one, like home. So when we get lost, we should return home. We should start from home again. Then, if you strengthen your joyful feeling with yourself, then you go out again, trying to connect with the group, with people who are not related to you, people maybe who haven't done anything for you. You look at them, you're trying to look at them. We don't really need to think very hard. If we think too hard, that would become abstract. That's not emotional development anymore. In the course of building this university now, from day one, from the time we started digging the ground, it's about 5.5 years. And from the day we Sangha took over everything is for 4 years and 2 months. Because we started with zero, and you yourself and Lankara, okay, you have been part of this. Actually, you were the one who found this place, who ensured that Panyapodi Sayadaw donated this piece of land to this project. But during these 5.5 years, there were times that some people, some officials, some donors, that they became unhappy. You see, that it is very difficult to avoid this. So for me, this evening, I started from scratch, the way I do Mudita. If I find something if I find it difficult to connect, to feel Mudita, then I can see there is tension. After recognizing tension, I come back to myself. Okay, how much I wanted this university to be here. I have been thinking about it since 1993. 1993. It took more than 20 years, 21 years to actually have this, to materialize. Then with that joy for myself, with that mudita for myself, I go back to the person again. And I can see that I have no more fear to actually acknowledge their contribution fully. This is the people not in the third category that you raise, but in the category, sometime in the second, sometime in the fourth. Now, when it comes to the third one, when I started from something indirectly related to us. We have monthly donors, we have some companies, some small and big companies, and we have some business people from Yangon, Mandalay, who take care of us. It's easy to connect to those benefactors, but we usually forget their staff who work hard. So I actually go to them. I actually try to connect with them. And with that, then I also try to connect with people. Okay, we say if we from here we go to the airport, people we just find okay, on the street, who have nothing to do with this, who have never been here, okay, and try to find something in them to appreciate. To appreciate. I see some people working for their family, to feed their family. I see children going to school just to prepare for their future. And I can see some of the teachers as well going to school. And if we spend enough time on ourselves, we would be able to connect with them easily. Yeah. We don't really need to know them personally and their background either. Yeah. I don't know if you have this experience. I broke my leg twice. So whenever I see you walking properly, there's a lot of joy. Yes, Sayadaw.
I remember, Sayadaw, you said once you tell us the story about you like your husband,
Yeah.
but you have one professor,
Yeah.
he will pick the student
Yeah.
that and
He will come and see how we present. So you say you try to cultivate Mudita on the professor,
Yeah.
so that you have no fear.
Yeah.
How,
Yeah.
how does it work?
First, I want to tell you the first paper I gave. Okay, I was first year PhD student at Oxford. In that year, the International Association of Buddhist Studies, IABS, based in Switzerland, they rotate their meeting every 2 years. And that year it happened to be in Bangkok. For 10 minutes paper, you need to present something new. So I took out a bit of information from my thesis and I practiced. I went to my academic English teacher. First, I worked on the text, and I read in front of him. He just listened as an audience. Then he said, "Okay, wait, I'm lost." So when the connection is not good, when he is lost, when he tells me that, then I would think again. So that way I improved my paper. I even went to Cambridge. I had one lady professor who was kind enough to read this and then to listen to me. I actually time it and then I read it. I worked so hard for that paper, for the first paper. So I did Mudita on myself, how much effort I put into. And information, how many books I read. And then. So I did Mudita for myself. Then, when we went to Bangkok, he came to listen to my paper actually was not as good as I would have hoped. But good enough for people for the organizer to accept it. And Princess Siriton from Thailand, she looked at the title and she was interested. She also came to listen to my paper. Unfortunately, the moderator, a French professor, he changed everything. He changed the order. He didn't follow the printed order. So when the princess and my professor were sitting there, and they were surprised that I I didn't speak, that I would become number 2 instead of number 1. But nevertheless, that moment, okay, gave me a lot of mudita. That, okay, I was able to interest the princess and my professor was there. So I didn't care who else was there. And another time, 2 years later, at London University, I had to speak. Now my professor, he was the moderator, and he introduced me. He gave a very nice introduction, although I was just his student. And the paper he knew because he had read many times as part of my thesis, but he didn't see this paper yet. This particular paper, which is self-contained, it has to be self-contained to be content paper. Then I saw him, okay, treating me respectfully. As although we are so young as a scholar, okay, he treated us nicely, and I was so grateful for him. That's mudita. The fact that they recognize us, the fact that they give us encouragement whenever they can. So I just feel a lot of mudita. So with that, whenever he gave me negative criticism, okay, I was able to take it and didn't get discouraged because of that mudita.
Can we say that mudita is have a connection with the gratitude and the excitement has another like?
I'd like to say, okay, your question is if mudita has something to do with gratitude. You can see the qualities listed in the Metta Sutta. Gratitude, simple way of life, not being fussy, and not being irritated easily. Those qualities, I want to assure you that once you get your mudita going, you get the momentum, all those qualities, they will come. They will come. Like Ms. Alessandra Metta was saying, you can talk about, you can describe what she says as gratitude, but on the other hand, there's contentment also. There's contentment what they are being provided. And you can also see whenever there are things that don't meet their expectation, and they have resilience to actually take this. So in that sense, mudita is in some way is a well-rounded emotion in itself. Anathapindika, when he first met the Buddha, even when he heard the name of the Buddha, okay, he developed mudita already. With mudita, he went to see the Buddha. He actually attained some spiritual achievement before his brother-in-law, who was to introduce him to the Buddha. How mudita is very powerful. We like to think that because we are kind of very orientated towards vipassana, insight meditation. We think this form of meditation is secondary. We usually downgrade this kind of practice. We downgrade. We underestimate its qualities. I mentioned the other day, if you believe in the life story of the Buddha, before he became Buddha, okay, he had self-doubt. Self-doubt in, I translated this way psychologically. I mean, when the army of Mara came and attacked him, internally you can interpret this as self-doubt. The last bit of Mara inside, Kilesa Mara, that's the devil of defilement inside, was rearing its head. And outside is symbolized as the army of Mara. Deva Buddha Mara, but inside it was Kilesa Mara. How did he counter that threat? You can say internal and external. If you believe the story that he touched his fingers, he touched the ground with his fingers, recollecting his past paramis, that is, all the enlightenment quality that he had accumulated. I consider this to be mudita. And in the 7 factors of enlightenment, it came as a piti. So now, in this short session, because it's not a meditation retreat, we don't distinguish between pamodja, between piti, between mudita. We don't distinguish. Of course, in the Buddha, you can say at that moment it was Dhamma piti. There's, joy or rapture that came out of a lot of concentration plus mudita. So he was challenged that he didn't deserve this throne, this enlightenment throne, and he said, "Yes, actually, I deserve it because I had accumulated, I had done this much, this and this much, good deeds in the past, many past lives." When he recollected that, he recollected his past. We are told that the one goddess, became a witness. If you forget about the external symbolism, including that goddess, what you have inside is mudita. Another Pali word is anumodana, that's rejoicing in the good deeds once again. Is that powerful? He was abandoned at that time by the 5 friends. But that didn't matter because he was able to inspire himself with mudita. So when you go through a hard time, just reconnect with your good past. Then you will be able to inspire yourself and go through that. At this point in time, in the world, we are facing coronavirus. Remember, as a world community, we have defeated many deadly diseases. Of course, each time, there will be something to pay. There will be lives lost. But in the end, human endeavor, human compassion, human empathy, human wisdom will prevail. You have something to say? Sally? Eh? Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much for your devout teaching. Today I like to talk about today's practice. So today's practice is more specific, I think, because we have most of the time we have difficulties with among the people whom we are meeting every day. So knowingly or unknowingly, we have problems. Me, I practiced Chitta Vipassana for many years. So my problem is, I check my mind and I automatically check the other's mind most of the time whenever I meet with the people. Then the thing is like, if I have a strong wisdom and concentration, then I can see the reality and I can let them go. But if I have, I'm weak in concentration, I'm so busy, I'm stressful, then when I see the other people's mind, I automatically react. Like I know, even though they are smiling, but I know inside. Because I'm used to look at the heart, only the heart, not the outside appearance. So, the thing is like, if I see the one's mind, then if I don't like, then I step back and I just stay myself and something like that.
You withdraw.
Yeah, I withdraw from, because I don't want to have any akusala. If I forward, then I have akusala. So, now you're teaching us Mudita meditation. Then my practice is now changed, and I focus more on how I have to look at in a good way. I don't look at their mind is good or bad. So I look at the goodness in everybody. So I feel like I'm more connected.
Yeah.
I have no barriers.
Yeah.
I can smile very wholeheartedly to people. And I can see, oh, everybody has friends. Everybody has the better qualifications than me. So I can appreciate more. And these days, I mean like 2 or 3 days only. So I can confess that my practice is not very strong yet. But I can start to feel that, oh, life is really good. And I can be happy with myself and with everybody. So now I understand this. It just looks like similar to Buddha meditation, like you said just now. It's very simple.
Yeah. I want to share with you, just before I submitted my PhD at Oxford, and I had already started the Oxford Buddha Vihara. So at that time, it was so hectic. And because I was almost, reaching the end of my study, at that moment, I came to know many established scholars, and they also came to me. And I got many invitations to give papers, like from Stanford, from New York, American Association of Asian Studies, and from within the UK, Asia, like this. And because I never had that kind of invitation, many at the same time. I took as many as possible, the opportunity to present papers. When I went to America, The people over there, they heard me going there. So, Buddhist Society at Harvard, Burmese study at Arizona University, and Chicago University. And they all, I was a student. They all invited me to give either a talk or a paper. Then I went to all of them, including Cornell. And I never had a rest for the whole month in America. I covered 9 states. What happened was that I damaged my voice. I damaged my voice. Then when I went back to Oxford, my GP, my doctor, it could be throat cancer. So when he said that, okay, now I couldn't actually focus anymore. When I meditated, I looked into my mind, if that was fear. I couldn't see fear clearly because fear was disguising itself. I had a lot of dreams. I want to do this, I want to do this. I have a long list of to-do lists, including this university. And I think for about 5 days, my mind was very restless. I was just focusing on what I want to do, meaning what I have not done, what is not in my hand. And then, after 5 days of many short meditation sessions, I came to discover fear. And that fear was associated with the future. So I switched my mind to the past. Okay, even if I die now with this cancer, I have already done this, I have achieved this. I have a long list of things that I could be proud of. Then the mind, started becoming, started getting settled and calm and peaceful. Then that didn't matter anymore. If I had 2 more days, 2 more weeks to live, at that moment, I was happy. I was happy. And because in the UK we don't have to pay for hospital visit, it's a welfare state. That's a good thing. The bad thing is that you have to wait a long time, 3 months, to see a consultant. And when one of my devotees, who was a GP from London, when he heard that, no, you shouldn't wait. You come to London, there is a special, there are many private clinics. It's called Harley Street in London. It's full of consultants. The next day he got me an appointment. I went there. And he said he would pay for it, he would send a check later. So I paid 200 pounds. I got checked by a consultant, an ENT consultant. So there is nothing wrong. You exhausted yourself, so you need to rest. He didn't take the money also. He told his secretary to return the money. But even before that, I had already become myself once again, at peace once again. I was able to accept the uncertainty that might come. So in that sense, Mudita also helps us, to accept the pain of death, the painful experience of death. Yeah. I mentioned the other day that my mother, when she was in severe pain, she was thinking about meditation practice in Bodh Gaya. So mudita is that strong. So I think this is all for this evening. So mudita for all your effort, for all your time and practice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. จะคุยสิท่านดังนั้นมีเอียงขนาดมีหมอความกันดังมุเจมาน้องแสงสมภาคของดัดโตเขาอีก